Hello! In this video, we're going to walk through setting up the NPR Story API plugin for WordPress. I'll also give a brief overview of some of the plugin's features, including pushing stories to NPR One and using the plugin to pull stories from NPR. We'll be using version 1.6 of the plugin, which is available on GitHub and at the WordPress plugin directory. This demo will be using version 4.5.3 of WordPress. You'll need an NPR API key and an org ID if you want to push stories. The NPR Story API is available on WordPress and in GitHub. We're going to install it using WordPress. To do that, log into your WordPress site and go to Plugins, Add New, and then search for NPR Story API. It should show up here, and just click Install. Once it finishes installing, click the Activate Plugin button. And now the plugin is activated. Now we'll configure the plugin for basic push and pull operations to the Story API. This will allow you to pull posts that have been published by NPR and other publishers on the API, and it will also allow you to push your own stories to the API, including to NPR One. To configure these settings, go to Settings, NPR API. On this screen, enter your API key, your org ID, and put in the URL to our API. And then select NPR Story Post under the NPR Pull Post type, and then select Post under the NPR Push Post type. Then click Save Changes. You can use the Story API plugin to pull stories from NPR and other publishers to the API. Stories can be pulled automatically and manually. To pull a single story manually, go to Posts, Get NPR Stories, and then enter the story ID or the URL. You can click Create Draft or Publish Now to publish it automatically. To pull stories automatically at scheduled intervals, go to Settings, and then NPR API Get Multi. Use the NPR API query generator to generate a query, and then paste that query into the box provided. You can have up to 5 scheduled API queries at any given time. Note that it might take up to an hour, depending on the traffic of your site, to see automatically pulled stories appear on your site. When you're done, click Save Changes. The Story API plugin lets you push a story to NPR One easily. NPR One audio stories must be in MP4 or MP3 format and must be under 12 minutes. You can configure your NPR One settings at stationconnect.org. To push stories to NPR One, first you'll have to create a post that contains an audio attachment or find one that already exists. On the right-hand side of the edit screen, check off the Send to NPR One button and then click Save or Update.